Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Memorial Stand, where it is a dark and cold night, and it's raining for tonight's matchup between the Colony Cougars and the Wakeland Wolverines. I'm Dalton Ardondo alongside Richard Capaz. Richard, what are your thoughts on tonight's game?
Well, due to the weather tonight, I see a strong running game tonight actually, and not so much of passing, but if we do have passing, I definitely see more short passes tonight. Due to the ball and the weather, I suspect the ball would be more slippery. So I feel a lot more fumbles, maybe missed catches as well.
Yes, indeed. So speaking of receivers, this is going to be a receiver battle for tonight between Kevin Rochelle of Wakeland and Miles Price for the Colony. And let's see what happens right now as we are about to get going for kickoff. As Tanner Cragoon is about to kick it off right now. Teams are lining up. And Miles Price, the big man, the big guy for the Colony is back deep for the return. And and let's see what happens. Now, like I said before, weather is going to be a big part of this game tonight, and this will determine. It's probably going to be a turnover game. If you can get the less amount of turnovers, then your chances of winning could be increased as the Colony is changing up. And here we go. Let the action begin. And Miles Price gets the return. He starts moving left, chases back down the middle, and he gets outside, and he's running down the sideline, and he misses a tackle, and he shifts past the defender, and is he going to go all the way? And that is what a play! Miles Price returns it back for the return. What
Nice,
a way to start the game.
nice return kick there. As we watched that over around the 40-yard line, we know there was some blown coverage there down by the defensive players. We definitely noticed, and which allowed Miles Price to go all the way.
Yeah, and now it's time for the PAT right now as Kelvin Alberon sets up for the point after. And Ryan Kazmansky is the holder. And let's see as Alberon lines up for this kick. Now, this could be interesting because of weather. And it is good. So right off the bat, just this about 17 seconds into the game. Score right now is 7-0 Colony. And Richard, I think that was quite a bit of surprise. That threw everyone off guard.
Massive surprise for 17 seconds in. Definitely hyped up start for the beginning of the game. We can see how well this goes, especially from what I thought, how the rain would affect it. Doesn't look like it affected him that much. He went all the way.
Yeah, it
This
really
might
did.
be a pretty good game here we got.
Yeah, so the weather may have a little effect, may have no effect, or may have a big effect. Doesn't matter. We're still going to be able to play football. And like that, as you saw, just 17 seconds into the game, it was a touchdown right there from Miles Price. Now that's his second kickoff return touchdown. And now, as you see here, as Kevin Alberon sets up to kick off. Back deep for Wakeland, that is Kevin Rochelle, number 5. And and as the ref is right now, talking to Alberon right now about the kick and making sure that nothing goes crazy because this weather, it could get crazy. And you're gonna be hearing a lot about the weather tonight because it was pouring rain earlier today. And let's see, and who knows, it may happen again as Alberon sets up to kick off. And it's actually a kick actually by 41 and Cam Rochelle with the return. And Rochelle moves left to the sideline, stiffs arms a man, and he gets out of bounds. And now let's see what this Wakeland offense can do. This Wakeland team is led by their quarterback, Dylan Liable. Now Dylan, he has been hurt for a little bit of the year, but so far he has been able to do pretty good, completing over 66% of his passes, and he's got closing on 600 yards passing. He's got 9 touchdowns so far this season with no interceptions. That's some pretty impressive stuff right there, don't you think, Richard?
Yes, definitely. Colony came out really strong. We'll see how well this Colony defense goes on.
Yes.
We'll see if they can stop Wakeland's offense. Wakeland's offense looks really strong.
Yeah. Let's see what they do here. First and 10 at the 24-yard line, and is handoff to Charlie Burkhart, and Burkhart breaks a few defenders, and that is a very good gain of about 7. And that was Christian Gonzalez that tackled him out of bounds. Now, for Charlie Burkhart, he has been backing up Jared White this year, but Jared White is hurt right now. So Troy Burkhardt has been averaging around 6 yards per carry, and he's got 5 touchdowns so far in the season. And then right now we have a reverse to Kevin Rochelle, and Rochelle gets the ball out. And what the question is, was he down before the ball was out? Let's see.
Let's see.
Refs are talking it over. Let's see who has it. Yeah. That was pretty surprising.
Definitely what I projected for the rain. My ball's a little bit more slippery.
And let's see. The Wakeland coaches are thinking that he's down. But from up here, it looked like his knee hit the ground, then it let it go. Refs are talking it over to the Colony players right now. And right now, we're going to put... So with Kevin Rochelle so far this season, he's been averaging around 21 yards a catch. He's got 707 yards and 13 touchdowns. And Wakeland did indeed get the ball back. It is now 1st and 10. And let's see what Liable has up his sleeve. As the refs are talking it over again. Refs are confused right now. And they are still in needing of talking it over. And... anyway, so as right now, refs are still talking it over, and teams are still communicating.
Looking over at the Colony's receiving side, we got Camden Wesley, who's averaging about maybe 6 yards a carry.
Yeah, it's rushing.
Rushing, I meant. Averaging 6 yards a carry for 5 touchdowns this year. The Colony's offense is looking really strong. Going down the Wakeland, they're 4-3 right now. Peyton Lewis throwing for about 1,100 yards right now at 3 interceptions, completing 68% of his passes.
That's some pretty good stuff right there. And let's see what happens right now. It is now 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line. Let's see what Liable has. Or correction, that actually might be Peyton Lewis. That's in front of view up here. And let's see what happens. As he hands it, it's Charlie Burkhart with the carry, and he's gonna get stopped for about a 5-yard gain. And that tackle right there was by Marcus Moore, the D tackle. And there's Liable. And like I said before, Wakeland does run a two quarterback system with Lewis and Liable. And let's see what Liable does here with this 2nd and 5 at the 32-yard line. And lined up in the shotgun. Delshaw and Shirley are in motion. And it's another run to Charlie Burkhart. Charlie Burkhart gets free for a 1st down right there. That was a good play right there for Charlie Burkhart.
Really nice play there. Colony's defense missed the tackle there, which allowed Burkhart to get more yards out of there, and he ran a bit farther with a little bit maybe blown coverage.
Yeah, and now it's 1st and 10 at the 43. Let's see what Wakeland has up its sleeve here with Liable back into shotgun. And Liable looks out to pass, and he hits Dugan Sexton with the completion. Dugan with a nice run for a 1st down right there for the Wolverines. And that right there was Dugan Sexton on that play. And Dugan, he actually has been doing
Dugan's been doing all right. He's ran for rushing ran for 15 yards so far this season, and with only 1 carry though this year.
Yeah, now it's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line, and Liable hands it off to Charlie Burkhart, and he gets about a gain of 3 or 4 on that play.
Nice defensive play there by the Colony.
Yeah, good defensive play right there, able to shut down Burkhart right now, and as Lewis gets back out there, I think he's lined up as a receiver for this play. And we got, for the receivers, you got Sexton, Lewis, and Rochelle for the receivers as in the shotgun. Liable drops back to pass, and he's getting pressured, and he's going to get sacked. And that was Stephen McCollum right there with the sack on that play on Liable.
Yeah, we saw Liable looking for open receivers, but he held on to that ball for just a little too long there. The defensive players got onto him.
Yep, and now it's going to lead to a 3rd and long, 3rd and 21. Man, this is going to be a tough one right here as Liable gets back into shotgun. Let's see, 3 receivers to the left, or actually, as Sexton's in motion. Liable drops back, hits Kevin Rochelle with the completion. Kevin Rochelle does a little zigzag, and he gets about a good game, but that I don't think is enough to make it to the chains.
So we saw good plays here by the Colony's defensive side. If they can keep it up at the way they're going, they could win this game as they're 6-1 currently right now with their only loss to Lone Star. Their defensive is playing pretty well right now, and if they can stop this Wakeland offense, they're looking pretty good even on the Colony's offensive side if they can keep scoring while preventing the opponent from scoring.
Well, looks like Marty Secord out there is going to go for it. As it is now 4th and 7 at the 39-yard line. As Liable gets advice from Secord, and I believe there is a timeout for Wakeland, and so we're going to take a timeout as well. We'll be right back on the Frisco Sports Network. And we're back here on the Frisco Sports Network. Now, Wakeland just got back from the timeout. It's now 4th and 7 at the 39-yard line with 6:22 left to go in the first. Let's see what Liable has up its sleeve. This is now in the shotgun. Liable drops back, and he launches a deep one for Peyton Lewis, and it can't connect. And that's going to be a turnover on downs for Wakeland.
So as you watch this matchup so far, we see Wakeland's had 3 first downs this game right now. Total gains about 47 yards. It's more of a they've been doing more on passing right now. They've run 29 yards in passing so far. Rushing has been about 18 yards currently with 6 rushing attempts.
Yes. So now for the Colony's offense, it's their turn to see what they can do. This is now 1st and 10. For the Colony, as Harrington gets advice from the coach. Now, Harrington has been doing really good so far this season. See what he does. Harrington drops and hits his man, Miles Price, and Price gets outside, and he's going to get shoved out of bounds. He's going to get down at around the 42-yard line for a first down. And that was Davion Woolen right there with the tackle.
Very nice play there. As we saw the guy, he was open, but he was wide open, and he kept running. He got a very good, lots of yardage there. And
yeah.
This Colony's offense has been really, really strong this year. You see how well Wakeland's defense can hold on to this against this offense because it's been really strong. It looks like.
Yeah. Because right now it is 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line as the Colony is in Wakeland territory. Now the Colony did score off the very first play of the game with the kickoff return. Well, let's see what they do here. As Harrington drops back to pass, scrambles right, and he gets the completion. That is Blake Uslan right there with the completion on that play for about a gain of 6 right there.
Yeah, Blake Uslan has 133 yards this season with about 9.5 yards per catch that he makes with 1 touchdown this year.
Yeah.
Right.
Very good things. Now it's 2nd and 4. Around 5:30 left to go in the first. Harrington drops. He's going to launch a deep one for Keith Miller. And that is caught for a touchdown. Touchdown for the Cougars. And that right there was Keith Miller with the score.
Very, very, very deep pass he made there. Very good, amazing catch by the receiving end.
All right, yeah, and that right there was Keith Miller right there with the touchdown.
Yeah, Keith Miller's got 470 yards this year right now with he's got 14.7 yards a catch with 6 touchdowns, second to their Miles Price. The best receiver on their team.
Yes, and now the extra point right there by Alberon is good, making it a 14-0 Colony game score.
Colony's up 14-0 on the board. This is as what I thought this game would have due to the weather. I thought this game wouldn't have been a very high scoring, but it's looking like we might have an amazing matchup here currently.
Yeah,
Lots of high scoring points right here.
yes. This game might actually be a little bit high scoring. As right now, the teams are sending back to kick off right now. So we back deep right now for Wolverines is Charlie Burkhart, and Alberon is sent up to kick off.
So can this Wakeland's offense get past the Colony's defense? As they stop them as at their previous attempt at offense, but
All right, and now we have Alberon setting up to kick off with Burkhart in the backfield, ready to receive it. Where there could be another trickery, and it is another trickery by 41. And that's a fair catch right there by Kevin Rochelle. Now, Wakeland, their last drive, they went for it, and they couldn't capitalize. So now, let's see what they do on this drive. They had a pretty good drive going, but then it just ran out and by the Colony's defense.
so
Let's see.
due to Wakeland, at their first attempt, they had 3 first downs. We can see how well they do, as they've had more first downs than the Colony, so they might have a better chance at driving and scoring on them possibly. But we'll see what happens here.
All right, it's now Peyton Lewis's quarterback, and hands it off to Charlie Burkhart. Charlie Burkhart gets outside, and Charlie Burkhart has a first down and more. And that right there is a first down, my friends, and that was Shaquille Taylor that shoved Burkhart out of bounds.
As this game goes on, I'm noticing that this Wakeland's more relying on running as opposed to passing. They're doing pretty well on the rushing side of everything, it looks like, with Wakeland having 6 attempts so far, and about 3 yards every 3 yards for each rush that they've attempted.
Yes, now Liable's back out there. Now Burkhart gets another carry, trucks a few defenders, and he's gonna get a first down right there. Right there's a first down by Charlie Burkhart, and that was Jose Estebendo right there with the stop.
Good. They got a good drive going right here. We can see Burkhart's doing really well on the rushing end of things right now. Maybe they can throw a trick play, possibly start passing, as it's a good possibility they could keep rushing. But it looks like we have an injury on the field.
All right, and we have an injury timeout, and we're going to take a little timeout as well, so we'll be right back here on the Frisco Sports Network. And we're back from the injury report on the Frisco Sports Network, as that was Dom Punes that went down in that last play. As now Liable gets back, sets back up in the pistol, and that's Charlie Burkhart with the run. And Charlie Burkhart steps outside and gets about a gain of about 4 on that play.
Charlie Burkhart is doing very well on the rushing end. As we look at the Wakeland now, 5 first downs so far. They've gained two more this attempt, and a lot more rushing yardage, and they've more carries, and Charlie Burkhart's been getting a lot more carries for every attempt they have, as opposed to earlier. They could do a trick play, like I said, maybe do a passing play, but it looks like Burkhart is getting a lot of yards per carry. I may keep running him.
Yeah, now Liable drops back, scrambles, and Liable throws to Alex Shirley, and that is incomplete right there. And that was Deron Beasley right there with the coverage. And right there, and Alex Shirley, he's actually caught 2 balls and caught 2 receptions, correction. And both of those receptions led to touchdowns. So way to go for Alex Shirley right there. As now Wakeland sets up for a 3rd and 7 at the 32-yard line. Let's see what they do here. As they're lined up in the shotgun, Sexton's all by himself. And and tight ends are in motion. And Leibel play action, and he hits Kevin Rochelle, and Rochelle gets a first down right there. And that was Christian Gonzalez that shoved him out of bounds.
Might be seeing more Rex Burkhardt right here as they've been. Wakeland's been doing a more passing game, swapping him out. Might be a good option. Maybe throw Rex Burkhardt. Maybe try to throw off the Colony's defense. But Kevin Rochelle's very good offensive weapon for the Wolverines right now.
Yes, it is now 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line. And they do another handoff to Rochelle, and Rochelle gets on the outside. And does he have the distance? And he does. That is a touchdown right there for the Wolverines, and that is very much needed.
Very good start to the game here in the first quarter. We're 14-6 right now. Very interesting game right now due to the weather. I suspected it might have just maybe altered it a bit, maybe not done so hot, but it looks like this is going to be a good game to watch. Great matchup here. Colony sitting 6-1, Wakeland's 4-3, but Wakeland's been a high-scoring team, especially with their offense and very good offensive weapons.
All right, now let's see Tanner Cragen with the point after. Snap, hold, and the kick is good. And now it is 14-7 Colony, and Wakeland gets on the board. Now, Richard, what were your thoughts on that drive?
That drive was very well done, starting with Rex Burkhardt. Just keep on running. Then we got a passing game going on as you get towards the Colony's end of the field, down about the 35, 40-yard line. Start passing, and it might throw off the defense a bit. And then you did a handoff, and that really threw them off because they might have been suspecting a rushing play. But you did a handoff to Kevin Rochelle, which gave him a touchdown. Very well played, in my opinion.
Yeah, that was very well played indeed, and that was a good drive with Kevin Rochelle, with the Kevin Rochelle touchdown. And that right there for Kevin Rochelle, that will be his actually second rushing touchdown in so far this season. That's a bit surprising.
So I think we may see more of the Colony rushing end, as they have not done any rushing this game yet. Might be able to see some more rushing. They have great receiving weapons and great quarterback on their end. But we could throw off maybe the defense a bit, do some rushing plays, and see how far they can get with that, as well as Wakeland's been doing very well with their rushing game.
Yes, and Wakeland has been doing pretty well. It's going to be about the rushing game between, it's either going to be Charlie Burkhart for Wakeland, and it's going to be Camden Wesley for the Colony. And as Tanner Cragen sets up to kick off, and back deep for the Colony is, I want to say it's Miles Price. They actually have three people back there, surprisingly. Camden Wesley's back there, and Christian Gonzalez is back there to receive the kick. And let's see what happens here as Cragen sets up to kick off. And I believe I see, yeah, and this is an interesting formation for the Colony, as they had three people back deep to turn, and here we go. And here's Miles Price to return the kick. Miles Price did return for a touchdown earlier. Could he do it again? And Cragen is the only guy to beat, and Cragen just gave up. And that is another touchdown for the Colony. That is the second kickoff touchdown for Miles Price. And it is now 20-7.
Unbelievable there. 2 kickoff returns in one game in the first quarter, to be more exact here. Already up 20-7 with the Colony. Unbelievable. 2 kickoff returns, as we see. The Wakeland's defense might need to be more prepared for these kickoffs as they keep happening.
Yes, Wakeland special teams needs to wake up a little bit, if I'm being honest right now. And Alberon sets up to kick the extra point. Let's see what happens here. And the kick is up, and it's good. This is now 21-7. Colony is winning right now. And Richard, like you said before, two kickoff return touchdowns in just one quarter. And last time I did one of these, it's been a while since the same guy got 2 kickoff returns in one quarter, don't you think?
Oh yeah, definitely. We need to see this Wakeland's defense. We need to see them doing a lot more to this Colony offense. The Colony's offense is really strong. Lots of weapons, especially when you have two kickoff returns. Very amazing play, amazing offense right now. When you see, but as you come up, we got the the Colony's defense. Defense is doing well, except for this last attempt. Got a good drive going on with Rex Burkhardt. We need to see if we can stop Rex Burkhardt, and then maybe we'll get a good game here for the Colony.
And here we go as Alberon sets up to kick off. Burkhardt's back deep to receive. Could number 41 be kicking it off? Let's see. And nope, it's actually Alberon as the kickoff is away. And here comes Charlie Burkhardt with the return. And Charlie Burkhardt goes outside and he gets tackled right there. And that was Deron Beasley, correction, with the tackle right there. Now, Wakeland, on the last drive, they relied on the rushing game and got him in. Now, Richard, do you think Wakeland should continue to run the ball?
You know, we can possibly would see some change up in their offensive plays this round, as the Colony defense could be more prepared for Charlie Burkhardt as they come up, but maybe we can see some more passing plays as they may be more prepared for Burkhardt.
Now as Liable hands it off to Burkhardt again, and Burkhardt gets about a solid gain of 4 or 5 on that play. And that.
So with this one play, we got Burkhardt going in again. He's getting maybe about 4 or 5 yards a carry right now. Yeah. He might be a guy to use quite a bit, but also do a passing play here and there.
Yes, you definitely got to change up the play, or else like they know what the Colony's gonna know what you're gonna do. This is now 2nd and 7 at the 26-yard line, and another handoff to Burkhardt, and that is a gain of about 3 or 4. Now Wakeland is slowly trying to chip away at this Colony defense with their rushing game.
So they could change up some more plays, not use so much Burkhardt. Whenever we can't use Burkhardt too much, or else we can see them more prepared now. He's not getting as many yards a carry now. They're more prepared for him, which is definitely going to give Wakeland an opportunity on passing games.
Yes. As right now, there's 3rd and 3. Here's Liable dropping back, and he hits Dugan Sexton right there. And Dugan Sexton, we haven't seen a lot of him lately. And is he short, or did he make the first down? Let's see. And they will give it to him. That is a first down right there for the Wolverines.
Dugan Sexton, 437 yards this season, about 13.7 yards of every catch. He has 3 touchdowns for Wakeland's offense right now.
Yes. So right now it's 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line with 2 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. Let's see what happens for the Wakeland offense as Liable does a play action and hits Dugan Sexton, and that's another reception for him, and that's another first down right there for Dugan Sexton. And that was Stephen Wallach and Shaquille Taylor right there to stop him.
We're definitely seeing some changes in their plays right now. Colony's defense is not looking too prepared for this passing game right now. We got Dugan Sexton getting lots of yardage with every pass.
Yes, and right now is 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Let's see what Liable has up his sleeve as he was lined up in the shotgun. Let's see what happens here. And play action. And hits Dugan Sexton. Dugan Sexton's off to the races, and that's another first down for Wakeland. And that right there I was there on Beasley with the stop. And, man, Dugan has been on fire lately.
He's doing extremely well right now. Got a good change up in their offense now. Now they're getting some yardage. Great drive going on right now with Sexton and Liable.
Yes.
Good duo right there. They might throw him. I see Burkhead coming in shortly right now.
And right now, this is in the pistol formation. And as Delshaw and Shirley go in motion, let's see what Liable does. And Delshaw again in motion. And hands off to Delshaw, and he gets not that big of a gain right there for Chance Delshaw.
And Delshaw's gotten 83 yards this season, about 6.9 yards per catch right now.
All right, now let's see here. This is now 2nd and 7 with 30 seconds left to go in the first. Let's see if Wakeland can trim this down to a single-score game. As Liable hands it off to Burkhardt, and Burkhardt splits outside, gets outside, and oh man, he slipped, and that's going to be a first down for Wakeland right there on that play.
So we could see a touchdown pass coming up shortly, possibly even Burkhead going in for a touchdown with these offensive weapons. Sexton and Burkhead, very good very good weapons. And you got Liable throwing the Sexton. Very, very unpredictable team based on what they have right now. They got 9 yards to go.
All right, now Burkhart runs it in. It runs in. That's going to be a very middle pickup. That is the end of the first quarter. Score is Colony 21, Wakeland 7. And we'll be right back here on the Frisco Sports Network.
Follow your favorite school from anywhere in the world by downloading the official athletics app of Frisco ISD. A free download in the App Store and Google Play, the Frisco ISD Athletics app keeps you up to date with all things in the athletic department.
Schedules, scores, rosters, news, social media, final score notifications, along with the ability to watch live broadcasts are just a touch away.
Proudly represent your school with our newly available custom app icons. The official sports network of Frisco ISD Athletics, powered by Mascot Media. Download it today for free in the App Store or Google Play.
And we're back here on the Frisco Sports Network as we are about to start the second quarter with the Colony winning 21-7 over the Wolverines. And let's see what Wakeland has right here on display, as they are right now in the money zone. In the money zone, that's inside the 10-yard line. Normally we call it the red zone, but if you're inside the 10, you should be able to put up points on the board, at least 3.
It's 2-6 right now. We can I possibly see a Burkhart run here, as he's been doing super well this game right now.
Yes, he has been. And Peyton Lewis right now is quarterback. Let's see. As Lewis does a high snap and does an option, and he's going to get stopped right there. And that was Jose Estebo, and that was also Pablo Hernandez right there with the stop. Says right now is going to be 3rd and 7. It's actually 3rd and goal, correction, with just about to start the second quarter, with about 30 seconds in. Now Liable is back out there for QB, and let's see, we got two receivers to the left, two receivers to the left, one on the right. Let's see, Liable, he looking, hits Kevin Rochelle. Kevin Rochelle, is he gonna? And that's another touchdown right there for Kevin Rochelle. And that right there is his second touchdown of the day, first receiving touchdown for the day.
You saw Rochelle there. Rochelle was wide open, and they tried to tackle him, but he just got out of their hands and just went in for the touchdown. Very well played, very well done by Rochelle there.
All right, now it's time for the point after as Tanner Cragen sets up for the kick. And let's see if this weather will still have any effects. And here's the snap. Good hold and a good kick. This is right now 21-14. And Wakeland right there is back to a one-score game. Now, Richard, what were your thoughts on that drive?
Drive, very well done. Lots of running plays, but great ending there with the touchdown by passing it to one of your rushers. Very different play. Maybe they were expecting more of a wider angle, wide receivers to go in there, but passing it to your rusher for the touchdown, very well done.
Yes, that was very well done right there. And while we take the time, let's do a little player spotlight right now. So number 58, Cade Meyer. Even though he's not known for playing that much, that's because he's only a sophomore. But whenever he does, he makes the most out of his opportunities. And Wakeland's model this year is being the one. And Cade sets a really good example of that. And hopefully one time he'll be able to get on for a couple snaps or so. And as the team's set up for kickoff, and Tanner Cragen is setting up to kick. And the Colony has 3 people back, and right now it is Camden Wesley, Miles Price, and Christian Gonzalez.
Let's see what happens here, considering 2 of their touchdowns were kickoff returns. Surely this couldn't happen again, but anything can happen here, this Colony's offense. And Wakeland defense needs to stop this kickoff return possibly.
Yeah. And they're actually doing an onside. And it is out of bounds. Oh man, that could have been. That almost was executed, but the kick was out of bounds. A Wolverine almost came close to getting it in. But right now, Wakeland has the ball.
So let's see how well this Wakeland's defense can stop the Colony's offense. They haven't been doing too well with that. Maybe we'll see some Colony rushing attempts here, as they've had no attempts so far.
Yeah, so now Mikey Harrington setting up in the shotgun for 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line. Let's see what happens right now. As Harrington directs his guys. Takes the snap, hands it off to Camden Wesley, and Wesley's going to get stopped, but a flag is thrown, and Wesley's going to get shoved out of bounds on that play.
Camden Wesley's accounted for 5 of their touchdowns so far this year.
And now let's see what the flag is about. And that was Jake Marshall right there that shoved him out of bounds. And let's see what the refs are talking over about this flag. The refs are still talking it over right now, as it is holding against the offense. So now that's gonna set him back 10, I believe. That's gonna set him back a lot. And now right now it's gonna be 1st and 20 right now for the Colony.
I see a passing play here with 1st and 20 so far, as they've been their team has been strongly passing as opposed to rushing. But you could also throw off Wakeland's defense by rushing, as they've had only 1 attempt so far.
Yes, so right now it is 1st and 20. They have a little ways to go as Harrington drops back. Harrington looking, launches one downfield for Keith Miller, and that pass is complete. And that's going to be a 1st down right there for the Cougars, as that was Devon Woolen right there with the stop.
What a pass by Harrington! Just as we thought, they had it was 2nd and or 1st and 20. They had a long ways to go. Great pass there. Maybe they can also maybe try rushing play here, but I don't know. This passing game is looking really strong on the Colony's end.
Yes, and right now it is 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. As Harrington does a fake and hits Miles Price, but that is incomplete right there. Miles Price was the intended receiver. And that's normally a surprise right there for Miles Price. He's normally known for hauling in those passes. And that's often a surprise right there for this team.
Miles Price, a great offensive weapon, as he does rushing as well as receiving for the Colony's end. And both his rushing and receiving accounts for 12 touchdowns this year for the Colony. Very good weapon.
Yes, as right now it is 2nd and 10 as Harrington drops back, launches one for the end zone, and that is intercepted. And that was Quincy Leslie right there with the interception right there on that play. What a turnaround for this Wakeland defense. Now, Richard, how big was that for this defense?
Very well done. As we see the Wakeland needs 1 touchdown to at least tie the game. And as we saw, the Colony probably would have scored. Great interception there to turn over the ball to give Wakeland a chance to score. Wakeland's offense also looking really strong right now. They could possibly score and do a drive like they've been doing earlier. We'll see how this goes here, as that was an amazing play right there.
Yes, and that was Quincy Leslie right there with the interception. Now, Leslie has had his ups and downs, but that right there was a for sure up. As right now is 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Let's see what Leibel has up his sleeve here. Is up in the shotgun formation. Rochelle in motion. Does a fakes to Rochelle and gives it to Burkhart. And Burkhart is going to get about a 5-yard pickup right there. And that was Shaquille Taylor right there on the stop.
Strong Wakeland rushing game right here. Burkhart's amazing right now in this game so far. We could possibly see a drive here through Burkhart. Throw off with a few passes here and there, but Burkhart I think is going to be really strong for this game against the Colony. Colony's amazing team this year, 6-1. We'll see how the Wakeland can do. Burkhart I think is a really good person for their team right now in this game.
Yes, as right now is 2nd and 4, and also correction gain of 6. It is now as Leibel throws and hits Ken Rochelle, but that is incomplete right there. Now Rochelle is normally known for catching these passes.
Yeah. So Weather took a big play in there as he did slip right there. Due to all the rain, the field is wet, just as we had thought. The weather could make a big difference in this game as he did slip.
Yes, and right now it is 3rd and 4 at the 26-yard line. Let's see what Leibel has up his sleeves as he is getting advice right now from Coach Secord. Let's see right now what 3rd and 4 has to offer. Leibel back in the shotgun, and play fake, and he hits Kevin Rochelle, hits him right in the numbers, but that is incomplete right there. Now, do you think this ball, Richard, is a bit slippery right now, or why do you think Rochelle's dropping these passes?
I think it's definitely slippery right now, even just the field. The ball, I definitely would believe, is slippery.
Yeah. As right now, as the punt team is set up, and that is Tanner Cragun is back deep to punt, and that now Miles Price is back deep to return it. Now Miles Price has had 2 kickoff touchdowns so far, so let's see if he can go for a 3rd special teams touchdown.
Would definitely be amazing if he can go for a 3rd, but we'll see how this Wakeland defense can do against him, as he's really good.
All right, now as the punt is away, and that's going to be out of bounds at around the 41-yard line. Now for the Colony, it is now their turn their turn on offense now. Their last drive, it was actually an interception on their last drive, and that's a bit surprised because Mikey Harrington is not known for picks, as he's only thrown 2 this season, making that his 3rd. So, Richard, what do you think? What do you think the Colony needs to do to prevent a turnover on this drive?
I definitely am really firm on trying to do some more rushing, not have only 1 rushing attempt. Definitely wasn't a great rush attempt, but I definitely think they could probably throw off this defense a lot, as their passing game is what's really doing the Colony a big thing right now.
And as right now, as Harrington hits Christian Gonzalez, and Gonzalez goes down the sideline, he's been shoved out of bounds, and that was Jaden Page right there with that shoved him. All right, now this is now 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line with 9:30 left to go here in the 2nd quarter. And
We'll see if the Colony can score this time, due to their last attempt with an interception towards the end zone. We'll see what they can do here, as this will be very well.
There's a flag on the field, and that's a false start on the offense. That's going to send back 5. Now it's going to be 1st and 15 right now for the Colony, as that sets them back 5. Now they're back closer to midfield, as that is not a good sign for them right now.
Definitely not a good sign for them, but we can see their passing is really good. We'll see how this goes.
And as now Harrington tries to hit Christian Gonzalez, and that pass right there is incomplete. And Gonzalez is not known for dropping his passes. And now let's see, is now 2nd and 15 right here with the 2nd quarter rolling right along. As Harrington drops back, and Luis Sabatano is trying to get after him, but he couldn't. And now that is Miles Price right there for a 1st down. That's his 1st reception of the day, and that gives him a new set of downs.
We see Miles Harrington out here throwing a lot, as he's really, really good player, very beneficial for the Colonies and their 6-1 lead this season right now. As we can definitely see that through this game against such a strong team such as Wakeland right now.
Yes.
Definitely playing very well, even in not very good weathering conditions.
Yes. Now it is 1st and 10 with about 9 minutes left to go here in the 2nd quarter. This clock is moving right along. And this is a weird formation right here for the Colony, as they play fake and they do hand it off to Robert Veasley. And Veasley gets stopped for a minimum pickup right there. And a tackle right there was made by Robbie Wilkins.
So on the rushing end of the Colony, they don't have their rushing side. Their rushers don't gain a ton of yards per carry. However, they do account for a ton of touchdowns on their team. But I think giving Miles Price a chance at rushing will be very good, or even Camden Wesley. I think this will be good if they can try that.
Now that's a complete pass to Keith Miller, and he is going to get stopped right there, getting close to the 1st down. That was Davion Woolen with the stop on that play. This is right now 3rd and 3 at the 20-yard line with about 8 minutes left to go in the 2nd quarter.
Keith Miller's ran for 470 yards so far, about 15 yards every catch. Counts for 6 touchdowns to their team. Very good play on their receiving end. They're receiving, lots of their players gain over 10 yards per catch, and we'll see how well they do here.
And now that is, what a great defensive play right there, as Wilkins tries to pressures Harrington, and now And that was number 31, Davion Woodley, right there with the stop. As is now 4th down and 4 at the 21-yard line, and I think Rudy Rangel is going to have the offense stay out there, as I do not see any signs of a kicker.
We see a turn in tides out here against the Colony, especially with the first quarter going up 21 and 2 kickoff returns. Seeing a little change in tides. Wakeland probably more adapting to their offense, as their passing game is what's been doing the Colony well.
And that right there was Miles Price at the rush, and that's going to give the Colony a new set of downs. And that was Jared Sheelan right there with the stop on that play.
As Wakeland is more adapting to this offense and seeing how more they play, they're using a lot of their passing playbook right now, and it's very apparent that Wakeland is more prepared against these receivers as they have more people wide.
All right, now that was Miles Price with the carry, and there's a flag on the play, and that gives them about a 3-yard gain on the play. Let's see what the refs have to say about that. And that was Luis Sabatino right there with the stop. As it is a holding on the offense. That's going to set him back 10, and that's going to push him out of the red zone. So golden opportunity, missed a little bit right here, but not too far off. All right, and now this is now 1st and 20 at the 22-yard line with 6:49 left to go here in the second quarter.
They've made a first down in a play like this before due to their passing. We'll see how this goes as he goes for a passing play again.
And that was a first down right there. And that was Keith Miller right there with a completion. And correction, that's not a first down. That's actually going to be 2nd and 10. As that got half the yards back. And Wakeland coaches are not happy with that play, as they know that they should have stopped them. But let's see what happens here on 2nd and 11.
Wakeland defense is more prepared right now, as they have a lot of people wide. This passing game could lead for them to get a touchdown and put them up.
All right, now as Harrington scrambles right, and he hits Miles Price right there, and Miles Price is just going to simply go out of bounds. And that was Trevor Perks right there that forced him out.
So it's 3 and 11. Very, very interesting here. I probably see a Miles Price play. However, not on the receiving end, but more Miles Price should be I see Miles Price getting rushing out. As their Wakeland's defense, they're looking for a pass. They have lots of people wide and set more farther back for this strong receiving end of the Colony's side. That's what I think is the big part of their team, is their receiving end.
All right, let's see what happens here. Is now 3rd and 13. Harrington drops back, pressure, and that's Keith Miller. Oh, they run he does a flea flicker to Miles Price, and he's going to be stopped short right there. And now is Davion Woolen right there with the tackle. This is now 4th and 13. 4th and 9 at the 11-yard line. Let's see what the Colony does here, as it looks like they got their kicker out there, and that is Albron with the field goal. And Ryan Kazminski right there with the holder.
So we've seen the Colony this attempt. They've done 2 rushing attempts so far. Their rushing wasn't that as strong as Wakeland's.
Yes, and now Albron sets up for the field goal. The kick, and it's good. And I believe there's a flag on the play, though, so who knows? If the points may be taken back. Let's see, as the refs right now are talking it over. And let's see what the ref have to say. As is charged against the defense, and they will take the points right now. As it is 24-14. Colony is currently beating Wakeland right now.
So it was very apparent that the Colony's, their strength is definitely on the receiving end as opposed to the rushing end. But it's the opposite with Wakeland. Wakeland and Burkhead, Burkhead, amazing player for their team on the rushing end. Lots of first downs, very good drives going on right now with them. And we definitely have seen some Wakeland passing, but it's not as strong as the Colony's passing. Colony's rushing definitely is lacking a bit through their team. As their passing and their kickoff returns, it's doing extremely well on their receiving end.
All right, as the team's set up for kickoff, and let's do a little player spotlight right now. So number 13, Devin Wright. I mean, he's on special teams right now. He's out there on the field somewhere, and sometimes he makes his appearance on defense, and he's often a pretty good defensive player, and he's gotten a lot of tackles and all that. And let's see if he can continue to do that as the game moves along. As Alberon sets off to kick off for the Cougars, and Charlie Burkhart is back deep to return. And let's see what the Cougars do right here for the kickoff. Is it gonna be a switcheroo, or is it gonna be Alberon? And Alberon kicks it off towards the sideline, and Burkhart drops it, but he's able to get it back. And as Burkhart goes to the outside, gets through some defenders, and he's gonna be stopped at around the 32-yard line.
Burkhart definitely getting a lot of yards per carry, even when even with the kicking, the punting, receiving. Strongly recommend starting Burkhart, just getting first downs and just drive him down the field, throw him off here and there with some passing games. As we look at Wakeland's passing, total of 193 yards right now, with about 12.7 yards per every pass they make.
All right, let's see as Lewis sets up, and it does a play action fake, and Lewis is scrambling, but he gets sacked right there. And that was a great sack right there. Yeah.
So Peyton Lewis there has ran for only 65 yards this year, accounts for 2 touchdowns, but he hasn't had many yards for every carry that he's had, only about 1.8 yards for every carry he's got.
Yes, as right now it is 2nd and 12, loss of 2. And that was Don Punes with the sack on the last play. Let's see what Liable does. And let's see. It drops back. Liable, it hits Peyton Lewis right there for about a good gain. And that's some pretty good stuff right there for Peyton Lewis.
Peyton Lewis, definitely one of their strong receivers here. Averages 12 yards per every catch he makes. One of the top receivers on their team as well. Has 9 receptions so far, 9 catches for 109 yards this year.
Yes.
Definitely a powerful Wakeland offense, even on the passing side.
Let's see what Liable has up his sleeve. And he hands it off right there, and Burkhart's not getting anywhere. As that right there was made by number 11, Marcus Moore, right there on that play. You think this Colony defense is starting to wake up a little bit after allowing points on the last 2 drives?
Most definitely, they're definitely waking up, more prepared for Burkhead in the passing side of this. If they've seen their playbook, they've seen a lot of what they're trying to do, and it looks like they're more inclined to what's happening right now. It's 2nd and 14.
And Liable tries to hit Kevin Rochelle, and that pass is incomplete. That's leading to a 3rd down. Now, Richard, we've seen Duke and Sexton had some good moments in this play. Do you think Liable should go to Sexton right here for 3rd down?
I definitely think it's going to be Sexton. Burkett is a strong player. If you have around 10, if you're in like 10-yard range, 1st down area, Burkett's the guy to go. But in a situation like this, I think giving it Liable to Sexton is an amazing opportunity, amazing play that could be done, as he's a good catcher.
And that pass, that is incomplete. Peyton Lewis was the intended receiver, and Lewis almost could have came down with it, but the ball was right behind him. As is right now, 4th down and 14. Let's see what Wakeland does right here. If they're gonna punt it or they're gonna go for it. Let's see. Or I believe there was a flag on the play, and it looked like nothing much is happening. And it looks like the punt team is going back out there on the field, and that was, basically a flag that went to both sides. Now, and the Colony has 2 return people for the punt. Is Christian Gonzalez and Miles Price.
As we've seen this game right now, the unthinkable has happened. 2 kickoff returns. Who knows what can happen at this point? There could be another. He could go a long way. But it looks like their receiving end on the kickoff is super strong. The Wakeland defense definitely has woken up since those first 2 returns, and they're more aware of what the Colony has to offer on the offensive side of everything.
Yes, and that right there was a great punt right there by Tanner Cragen. And now it is 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. And let's see what And let's see what the Colony does right here. Now, for the last drive, they went down and scored a field goal. Now, Richard, do you think field goals are going to be enough to get them to victory?
No, definitely not. This Wakeland team is definitely driving a lot on them with Burkhart currently. I think they need to start scoring touchdowns. If the opportunity is available, of course, kick a field goal, but touchdowns are going to be key for this Colony offense. And touchdowns are very, very possible with their offensive side of things on their passing end, as their receiving end is incredible for their team right now.
Yes, as right now, as Harrington drops back and hits Miles Price. And Miles Price stumbles, and the Wakeland defense definitely took advantage of that. And that was Josh Starnes right there with the stop.
We got 2nd and 11 here. As this goes on, if they can keep stopping him from getting the first down. However, whenever it does get to 3rd down, we have seen the Colony done a lot of things, such as getting that first down that they need by down by a lot.
And that was Miles Price again, and Miles Price gets out of bounds right there. And that was shoved out of bounds by number 36, Jaden Page. As now is a first down for the Colony.
Perfect pass there we saw, just as we thought in situations 2nd, 3rd down, they can always pass to their receivers, and always looks like they're getting first downs. Their passing game is what's going to do them this year.
All right, now as you see what Harrington does in the shotgun formation, as you see Robert Veasley alongside with him, as Harrington drops back and he hits Keith Miller, and Keith Miller is going to get a very minimum pickup right there. And that was Jared Sheehan with the stop on that play.
Keith Miller surprisingly usually does a lot more, as he averages close to 15 yards per every catch and accounts for 6 of their touchdowns this year. Not a lot of yardage right there is what he usually does. He usually does a lot more. Very surprising to see that there.
Yes, it is now 2nd and 7 at the 28-yard line as Harrington takes a snap, drops back, and he hits Keith Miller again. And Keith Miller tries to hurdle Quincy Leslie, but he gets shoved out of bounds by Josh Starnes instead, making it a first down right there for the Cougars.
Very apparent the Wakeland Wolverines defense is very aware of what the Colony has to offer on their passing side and receiving, and they have lots of players spread out wide and are ready for this strong receiving end. They are definitely adapting to the Colony's offense side of things, and are really ready for whatever they have to offer.
All right, now as Harrington scrambles, and Jake Marshall's trying to chase him down, and then that's a first down right there for the Cougars as Harrington just goes out of bounds, and that was Jake Marshall that forced him out. And now at the 46-yard line with 2:16 left to go in the 2nd quarter. Let's see what the Colony does right here on this next drive. As we have Keith Miller out there all by himself, and then 3 receivers to the right as Harrington drops back, and there's pressure, and he's just going to slide for about a 2 or 3 yard pickup, and there's a shove, and Jake Marshall goes down. Let's see what happens here as Coach Marty Secord is talking to the ref, and let's see what the refs have to say as they are talking it over right now. And Richard, what do you think? With 2 minutes left to go in this first half, what do you think the Colony needs to do in order to extend this lead?
To extend this lead, they need to do more wider passes. As we've seen so far, they've been doing very, very, very strong on this passing, and their receivers also extremely good on wider passes, longer range, more yards, as they're also receiving and gets tons of yards per carry, as we've noticed so far this game. And
let's see right now, as we take a little stat break, let's see right now for the Colony, as Mikey Harrington is completing 81% of his passes and throwing for 159 yards with a touchdown and interception so far this game. So for Keith Miller, he's been doing really great with 4 receptions, 89 yards, and with 1 touchdown to go alongside. Those are some pretty cool stats.
Keith Miller's definitely the prime guy for the Colony right here. Definitely the one to throw to. He's even averaging close to 23 yards per catch. Definitely the one to go for wider, longer range passes for touchdowns. As we got 2 minutes left in this first half, that might be what they'll have to do eventually.
Yes.
Wakeland could do what they've done earlier and possibly intercept. That would change the game a lot by giving them the ball.
Now with Charlie Burkhart for the Wakeland offense, he's been handed the ball 13 times so far this half. Averaging 6 yards a carry, closing in on 100 yards already with 83. As Harrington drops back, he scrambles and pressure, and he's going to get sacked right there. What a great job by that Wakeland defense, and that was Jake Marshall right there with the sack on that play.
Surely we see the Wakeland end side of here very excited as this sack just came on. However, it'll be 3rd and 22, but we've seen this before. We have seen the Colony gain first downs, especially off of a sack. They are very good with these clutching plays right here.
All right, and now we're going to take a timeout as there's a timeout on the field right now. We'll be right back on the Frisco Sports Network. And we're back here on the Frisco Sports Network. It is now 3rd and 12 at the 48-yard line. Let's see what the Cougars do right now, as they have one man alone in the right. And now let's see what Harrington does as Harrington drops back, throws, and that is caught for a first down. Maybe, yes, that is a first down. That is Miles Price again. Now Miles Price right now, he's been doing pretty good with 6 receptions, 53 yards. He's averaging around 9 yards a catch.
Definitely, we've seen this before. Go get sacked, and then they go and get the first down immediately after. Strong on the receiving end by Miles Price right there.
And Miles Price catches another pass right there, and that's another first down for the Cougars. Now, this Wakeland defense has better figure out a way to cover Miles Price.
We have definitely seen them adapted, but Miles Price looks like an amazing offensive weapon right here on the receiving end.
All right, now as Harrington drops back, launches one for the end zone, and that is caught for a touchdown for Miles Price. That is his first receiving touchdown in the game, 3rd total touchdown for today.
Miles Price, amazing player, makes the first down after getting sacked.
Yeah, man, what a great job right there from Miles Price. As now Auberon sets up for the point after. And let's see what happens here. Is about to take the snap. Good hold and a good kick. As the score right now is the Cougars 31, the Wolverines 14. And Richard, wasn't that a pretty good drive right there for the Colony?
Incredible drive by Miles Price, just as we thought. He is the man. He is the one. As we see him throw, he's catching these long-range passes. Lots of yardage gained by him. This Colony's off this receiving end seems almost unstoppable. Wakeland, surely they've been adapting more to it. They need to be on top of it. They need to be stopping them as much as they can. And it looks like the Colony, they're unstoppable right now. But the Wakeland can do it, as they are a very strong team, and they've done it before. They've made interceptions as well. But as we got the Wakeland offensive side coming on here, we can possibly see more Burkhead carries, especially throughout the first downs. But whenever they need long-range passes or get sacked, I definitely start passing.
Yes, and right now we're going to take a little game break right now. So back at Toyota Stadium is Lone Star Rangers and Centennial Titans. Lone Star's winning 27-3 with 3:03 left to go in the second quarter. And right now, over at Independence Knights and the Lobos, Independence is winning 21-14. And back at the Star, the Liberty Redhawks and the Heritage Coyotes. And Heritage is winning 28-21 with 47 seconds left to go in the second quarter. Now let's get back into the action as Burkhart gets back and it's a return, and that's a pretty average return right there for Burkhart. Now, Richard, what do you think Wakeland needs to do for this drive in order for them to get points on the board?
So we got Liable coming out here on the passing side of things. I strongly see more Burkhead. Burkhead's been the man this game. He's been carrying maybe about 4 or 5 yards per carry definitely getting them through the drive, driving them down the field whenever they need to do it, throw off the Colony's defense, do some passing here and there. It's a amazing offensive weapon. Burkhart is providing them, and even just a sense of a distraction and throwing off the defense. Very well, amazing player for the Wakeland currently.
Yes, it is right now 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line with a minute 14 left to go here in the second quarter. Let's see what Liable has up his sleeve as he's lined up in the shotgun formation. And Rochelle's out there by himself. And that's Peyton Lewis right there with the reception and tries to truck Stephen Wallach but fails. But that's a pretty good gain of 6 yards either way. As it is right now 2nd and about 4.
As we saw there, we saw Peyton Lewis back there. He was ready to throw.
Correction, 1st and 10. And flags on the field. Let's see what the refs have to say.
So the Colony's defense there was not prepared for that passing play. They were up front ready for Burkhart to go in for the rushing play. And
that's going to be a false start on the offense. That's going to be about 5-yard setback. This is now 1st and 15 at the 24-yard line. And let's see what Liable has to do now after that play was set back 5. Now, we haven't seen a lot from Dugan Sexton. He did pretty good for a little bit. I think they need him getting back involved in order to get this game going.
Definitely Sexton providing lots of great plays there throughout the first half of this game. Probably incorporate him more. We haven't so far this attempt, not too much Burkhart, but a lot more passing as it appears.
Yes. And Dugan Sexton so far right now, he's got 4 receptions, 57 yards. He's averaging around 14 yards a catch. And I honestly think they need to get him involved more. This is now 2nd and 15. Let's see what Liable does as Liable drops back and hits Peyton Lewis. And that pass and it is intercepted right there by Miles Price. And that was, I believe, Stephen Wallach right there with the deflection, and Price picked it off.
Miles Price, he's the man. He's the man for the Colony's receiving end. At 839 yards this year, averaging 17 yards per catch. Counts for 9 of the touchdowns. Amazing player this game on top of that.
Yes, and that right there was Dylan Liable's first interception so far this season. So well done to the Colony's defense for getting Liable's first interceptions. Right now, his 1st and 10 at the 43 with 33 seconds left to go here in the second quarter.
We'll see how well. We'll definitely be looking for more wide passes with 33 seconds left here. See what they can do, possibly score before this first half is over.
And right there, that was Mikey Harrington throwing the ball way out of bounds. This is right now 2nd and 10 at the 43-yard line, like we said before. Now Keith Miller, we're going to do a little stat update. He's gotten like six receptions, 105 yards with 1 touchdown. Now let's see if they'll give it to Miller right here again on this drive.
1st and 20 right here. Definitely happened many times before. This Colony is able to pull off long distances with this passing play, and they've done it almost every time here.
Now let's see. Harrington gets pressured, and Harrington escapes the sack, and he just throws it away again. And the target right there was number 9, Blake Yulston. And it is right now 3rd and 20. Or correction, 2nd and 20. This is with 15 seconds left to go here.
We'll see what happens here. This Wakeland is ready for this. They've seen this before. The Wakeland defense have seen the Colony make amazing plays like this, down by 20 yards. And they're prepared. They got people back wide. It's a very apparent Harrington's looking for people open. However, he's looking for people that are far and open, ready for the first down and possibly more yards after the catch.
Yes, let's see as Harrington drops back. Launches a deep one for Miller, and that pass is almost intercepted. And that was Davion Woolen right there. That almost came away with the pick.
3rd and 20, almost a pick. You can see he's definitely searching for these wide receivers. But he's want these people to go far so he can get that first down, possibly score. Very doubtful, but we can see what happens here. They've been able to do amazing things, 2 kickoff returns, and they've been able to make clutch plays like this so far.
Yes. It is right now 3rd and 20 with 10 seconds left to go. Let's see what Harrington does. Let's see what Harrington has up his sleeve right here. As there's a timeout called by Wakeland or correction, the Colony, and we'll be right back as well as we're going to take a timeout here on the Frisco Sports Network. And we're back here on the Frisco Sports Network. It is now 3rd and 20 for the Colony right now. Let's see what they do right here.
10 seconds left on the clock. Definitely looking for the wide receivers here.
It's going to be a big target. They actually run it to Miles Price. And Miles Price runs the ball and does a little spin cycle, and he gets down at around the 30 or around the 43-yard line. And was there a timeout on the play? The clock is stopped at 1 second left. And let's see. And I believe the refs are talking over where the clock stopped. And it looks like they did stop it. And yes, they did stop it. So there's going to be a timeout. We'll take one as well with 1 second left to go here in the first half. And we're back here on the Frisco Sports Network with a 4th and 4 at the 37-yard line. Let's see what Harrington has up his sleeve. And with
this Wakeland defense all the way up to the end zone even. They are fully prepared for a huge pass right now, which could be good for a running play due to their defense being so far back, having not many people up front. But we'll see what happens here.
All right, let's see. Last play of the half. And they throw it to Miles Price like usual. And Miles Price tries to evade, does a little dance, and does he get there? Nope. As that is Jake Marshall right there on the stop. And that is the end of the first half, with the score right now being the Colony 14, the Wolverines, the Colony 31, the Wolverines 14, correction. It is right now the end of the first half. Now, Richard, what were your thoughts on that first half?
First half, incredible to see 2 kickoff returns, especially within the first quarter. We saw Wakeland struggling against the Colony immediately, but we can see that they're slowly adapting. They're not allowing as much yardage as they were previously. They're slowly adapting to what the Colony has to offer, and especially this Wakeland offense is definitely starting to push out further. They're definitely switching up their playbook, not using so much of Burkhead anymore. A lot more passing we're seeing. But I think Sexton's going to be an amazing weapon for this next half. I believe we're going to be seeing a lot more Sexton as opposed to Burkhead. But of course, we're going to see Burkhead sometimes.
Yes, and now we're going to take a break for halftime. We'll see you back here for the second half on the Frisco Sports Network.
Basketball season is quickly approaching. Join the Dallas Mavericks and Frisco ISD as they partner to host one of the state's best basketball tournaments. The girls' tournament begins on Thursday, November 17th through the 16th. The boys' tournament is Monday, November 25th through the 27th. For all your tournament information, including brackets, scores, and ePlay stats, please visit mavs.com/fall classic or www.friscoisdsports.com.
And we're back here on the Frisco Sports Network. We just got back from our halftime report. So let's see what all the other games we got going on here. Richard, tell us what's about.
All right, so we got Centennial at Lone Star. Currently, Centennial, it's 10-34 right now. And we're at halftime right now. Game will be resuming at 8:35. All right, we go down to Frisco Independence versus Little Elm. They're at Little Elm. There's 5 minutes left in the third quarter. It's 28-21. Now, Independence is a huge contender in their playoff run right now. You got amazing passing game by Braylon Braxton, incredible player to watch, and they're having a huge playoff race right now. They'll probably go. We'll see what happens, how they play through the playoffs. It's halftime right now at Liberty at Heritage at the Star right now. It's 21-28.
And yeah, like I said, that's actually Heritage's homecoming game. So anyway, let's get back right here into this game. So actually, this is Wakeland's pink out game. As you guys know, I'm gonna get a little off topic for a second, but this month is obviously October. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so people wear pink and all that to represent breast cancer. And man, it's just in Wakeland student section right there, it's just filled out in pink. And even though it is a cold night, there are students still there at that game, and they are freezing, but hey, it is worth it for them.
Very committed student section there. Very cold, raining, misty out, and they're there. They're here to watch their team win. Even though they are down, we still have high hopes for Wakeland in the second half, and we'll see what happens here.
As it is right now, 31 Colony, Wakeland 14. We're about to start the third quarter. And as teams get ready, they're hyping up. And Richard, what do you think is going to happen here in the second half?
All right, so this first half, very interesting. We're watching teams like the Colony go up really far. They're scoring off 2 kickoff returns in the first quarter. Very impressive. How it's 31-14. The Colony is up. However, we were watching Wakeland. They're adapting. Their defense is adapting more to the Colony's offenses. They are tending to stop them more on plays after getting sacked, like it could be 2nd and 20. They're stopping them more. We're watching a lot more adaptation, even on the Colony's offensive side. They're a little bit more prepared. Wakeland definitely on their offensive side on the rushing end. We're watching the Colony staying more up front. They're ready for Burkhead. However, as the second quarter came up, we noticed a lot more passing, which will be interesting to see what the Colony would think to do here with the passing and the rushing. We'll see what happens here in the second half as we got a kickoff going.
All right, so now we got Alberon at the kick, and of course, who else but Charlie Burkhart back to return, and here we go to start the second half. And Burkhart doesn't drop it this time, and he goes around to the right, and he swings by a couple of defenders, and he gets shoved out of bounds right there by Christian Gonzalez. And what a good start to the second half for Wakeland. So Wakeland, in their first half, they were able to score twice. They only turned the ball over once. So, Richard, what do you think Wakeland needs to do in order to get back on track here?
I'm thinking they should try more passing, as it was working through the second quarter. It was doing pretty good, but we'll see how this goes. As Rex Burkhead still was carrying 4 to 5 yards a game, very impressive. Garrett, good person for first downs and getting drives going. But we'll see what happens on the passing game. I suspect we're going to see more of that.
All right, so now we got Liable, and he hands it off to Burkhart, and Burkhart swings around the defender. He gets a gain of about 6 or 7 on that play.
Just as we suspected, Burkhart right there gained 6 or 7. He's very good offensive weapon. As it looks like we haven't seen much Jared White. We suspect that he is out right now. Burkhart, impressive substitute for Jared White right now. But the Colony's defense is ready for Burkhart. They are up front and ready for him, as they're probably suspecting he's going to be the one to go.
All right, now as Liable drops back in formation, gets pressured, and almost intercepted. And that was Kyer Warner that almost came away with the pick, and he is upset with himself right now. But it does force a 3rd and 3 right there on that play.
3rd and 3, Burkhart is the one. 4 or 5 yards of carry. Definitely he'll get it. He'll probably get it. But we also have seen some trick passing here and there. It's coming along. They're doing more. They're playing a lot more things in their playbook, doing a lot more than just rushing, how it looked in the first quarter, which is all rushing with Burkhart.
All right, now Liable hands it off to Burkhart again, and does he get there? And he looks like he's short about a yard. And yes, he is stopped short for 1 yard. So that's going to be now 4th and 1. This is going to be an interesting decision here by Coach Secord, whether to go for it. And
I'd say go for it. It's 4-1. Burkhart, amazing. They're probably going to be ready for Burkhart. We see Colony's defense. They're up front. They're ready for Burkhart, as it is 4-1. Just 1 yard to go. We'll see what happens. It could also be a passing game, as you have Colony's defense. None of them are farther back, but we'll see how this goes.
all right, let's see what happens here with Leibel. With Leibel in the shotgun, sends Sexton in motion. And hands it to Burkhart. Does he get the distance? And let's see. Is he short? Refs are trying to figure out what happened. And it looks like they're going to move the chains. It is a first down for the Wolverines. That's a huge play right there.
First down, just as we thought. Burkhart's the man. He's the one right now for this Wakeland offense right now, running this ball. Amazing carries, clutching plays whenever they need it.
All right. Right now it is 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line with 2 minutes into the second half. Let's see what Leibel has up his sleeve in the shotgun. And let's see what happens here as Leibel drops back to pass. Tries to find Kevin Rochelle, but that is incomplete with Christian Gonzalez right there in coverage.
So Wakeland has had 219 passing yards so far this game. More first downs, but I think a lot of these first downs are due to their rushing. They have 14 first downs as Colony has 13. They've been getting around 12.4 yards per catch that they're doing on their passing side, but they have had 1 interception so far. However, they're rushing. They've 22 attempts so far, and they're rushing 107 yards.
All right, so now it is 2nd and 10 at the 42-yard line. Let's see what happens here for the Wolverines. As the offensive coordinator up here is a little bit furious, there's a handoff to Burkhart, and Burkhart gets about a solid 3-yard pickup right there. And they're just continuing to feed the ball to Burkhart, aren't they, Richard?
Once again, fantastic with Burkhart. They're just keep handing in the ball. He's just playing unbelievable, perfect man, just carrying, just driving down their team for those first downs. When they need it, they could do passing plays here and there, throw off that defense.
All right, now as it is 2nd and 8, it was a correction, 2-yard gain. And let's see what they do here. And as they send Delshaw in motion. And here's Leibel. And he hits Chance Delshaw, and that ball is out. And the refs rule it incomplete. What a hit right there. But it looks like there's an injury, but nope. That was actually Miles Price. That could have been costly.
Could have been very bad if Miles Price went out for the Colony. He's been an amazing figure on their team right now. But Miles Price accounts for 25 yards this game, about 12 yards per carry right now.
All right, now it is 4th down and 8, and I believe they sent in Tanner Cragen out to punt, and there's actually Christian Gonzalez back deep to return. So no Miles Price for a little bit. So if you're a Wolverine fan, you can take a little breath right now. And here's Cragen with the punts, and that's going to be out of bounds at the 29-yard line. Now, for this Colony offense, they've been doing pretty good. They scored 2 of their touchdowns off of special teams, so they got to thank them for that. Now, for their offense, they've been doing pretty decent with Keith Miller having himself a day by scoring a touchdown, so with Miles Price. So what do you think the Colony needs to do in order to keep their offense going in the second half?
Very apparent that Wakeland is prepared for the Colony. However, they're prepared for the Colony on one special thing, and their team is dominating right now on the passing side of things. Definitely, that's their key. That's what they're good at right here. They're for 237 yards is their passing, and for their total yards to this game is 276. Amazing numbers right there.
And that was Keith Miller that dropped a pass right there by Mikey Harrington. Now let's do a little quick stat update. Now Mikey Harrington, he's been doing pretty good, completing 19 out of 24 passes with 227 yards and 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. That's pretty good stuff right there. Now Keith Miller, he's known for hauling in those passes, but he's been having himself a day with 6 receptions, 105 yards, and 1 touchdown so far. Let's see if we can keep that up. It is now 2nd and 10 at the 28-yard line. Harrington runs and he scrambles as he goes left, and he's going to simply just go out of bounds for a first down right there for the Cougars.
Interesting play there as they did kind of throw off that Wakeland defense. You saw he got the first down. Definitely that Wakeland defense is prepared for the passing game. They are not up close as opposed to the Colony when Wakeland's on the offense. The Colony is ready for Burkhead. However, we see the Colony here is prepared for that passing game, which allows him to run for that first down.
All right, now here's Harrington dropping back to pass, guides Gonzalez where to go, and Gonzalez, that is an incomplete pass right there, as it is thrown into double coverage, and that was Jaden Page and Josh Starnes right there with the coverage.
We saw that they had 3 guys on him there. They had 3 on him. They're definitely ready here for this passing game, but they're moving a bit forward, it appears. They are moving a bit forward just in case for these running plays that just happened, which allowed the Colony to gain a first down.
All right, now as Harrington drops back, he scrambles, and he's runs back the other way, and he's gonna take off and run, and he just slides, and let's see, and he's about a yard short. So now it's probably going to lead to a 3rd and 1 right here. Now, Richard, what do you think the Colony is going to do right here on this play?
Looks like the Wakeland is ready for a rushing play. Rushing play, I think, is going to be key for at least a 3rd and 1. You got 1 yard to go. Rushing will be the man just to push him forward to gain that 1 extra yard, get that first down, then continue that strong passing game. Wakeland is ready for the running match as their guys are up front and prepared. Passing play might be good as well.
And now there's a run to Christian Gonzalez, and Christian Gonzalez gets the first down and more, and he's going to get stopped by Josh Starnes, and that's going to move the chains right there for a first down for the Cougars.
Christian Gonzalez, really good substitute. Miles Price is out right now, and we'll see how this goes with Christian Gonzalez as he just made an amazing play, and he's been a good substitute, running the ball very well, getting 2 first downs already.
All right, now as you see here, 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line, and as Harrington gets advice from Rudy Rangel, and let's see what they do here as Wesley is with him in the backfield, and gives it to Miles Price. There's that man again, and he gets shoved out of bounds by Josh Starnes.
Saw Miles Price there ready for the catch, and that's what it seems to be going. Wakeland, it's not what they suspected. They probably suspected a more longer range pass as they are, of course, pushed it back. But that was a short pass up front and ready to go. We'll see how this next play goes out with passing.
This is now 2nd and 6. Now with Harrington dropping back, guiding a receiver where to go. And Sabatino rushes him, and that's a wide open touchdown for Christian Gonzalez. And what a touchdown right there for the Cougars.
Amazing play by Christian Gonzalez. He was left wide open. Blown coverage right there by a lot. Counted for their touchdown already. Ran for first downs, and now he scored the touchdown on the receiving side. Christian Gonzalez is playing very well so far. A good substitute.
Yes, and now it's time for the point after for Auberon. Let's see what happens right here. And here we go for the point after. Kick is, there's a flag. This might be a roughing the kicker. And let's see, we got a flag right here. And it is a false start. That is against the offense, I believe. So that means they're going to have to re-kick.
So 14 and 37 here with the Colony up. Looks like they're going to kick an extra point, which might put them up to 38. Definitely, we'll see how Wakeland can come back from this. Their offense is looking very strong right here with Burkhart.
All right, now let's see for Auberon with the point after. Hold, kick is good. So now the score right now is 38 Colony, Wolverines 14. And let's actually take a little bit of a game break right now. So the Lone Star Rangers are currently crushing the Centennial Titans at Toyota Stadium with the score of 41-10. And now at the Star is Liberty Redhawks and the Heritage Coyotes. That game is tied up 28-all with 7:26 left to go in the 3rd quarter. And the big one for tonight is at Little Elm for playoffs position for seeing Independence and Little Elm. And Independence is currently losing right now 31-28 when the 4th quarter is just beginning. So let's get back into the action right here. with with Albaron back deep, back to kick off once again, and Charlie Burkhart, who else would do it to return the kickoff? Absolutely no one. Maybe Rochelle, but it's okay. And let's see what happens here on this kickoff.
So as we review what's happening so far this game, the Wakeland has scored at least once every quarter so far. They're going to have to start picking up the pace. As the Colonies scored 21, 3 touchdowns in the first quarter, and then a field goal and a touchdown in the second quarter. Wakeland definitely would need to pick up, and let's see how much they can do. Let's see how the Colonies defense can adapt to this confusing and strong Wakeland offense with the rushing game and the passing game that's been happening so far.
And there is an injury timeout right now. I believe a Colony player is hurt. So we're also going to take a timeout too, and we'll be right back here on the Frisco Sports Network. And we're back here on the Frisco Sports Network for tonight's matchup between the Colony Cougars and the Wakeland Wolverines. Colony is currently winning right now 38-14 with 7:03 left to go in the third.
So what just happened? We lost a Wakeland member. We got a Wakeland team member that is out. He is injured now, which is very critical. Wakeland's offense is super strong right now. We'll see what happens here with the rushing. They've had 23 attempts at 110 yards, which is very interesting compared to the Colony with only 9 attempts at 78 yards. However, Rex Burkhead very consistent at about 5 yards per carry at this point in the game. And we'll see what happens here if they can drive him out.
And Leibel gets sacked right there by number 11, Marcus Moore, the D tackle. Now, the injury for the Wolverines is number 29, Bradley Aisel. And we don't have that much details on injury, but for his right now, it does look like he's in some serious pain, so prayers up to him. This is right now 2nd and 15 at the 31-yard line after that sack. So let's see what Leibel has up his sleeve in the shotgun formation. And Dugan's all by himself, Dugan Sexton. And that's another run to Burkhart, and Burkhart runs left, and Taylor gets up in him, and then he gets some reinforcements. As that's about a gain of 4, and that was Stephen McCollum right there on the stop.
3rd and 11 here, definitely. I'm seeing a passing play here. That we haven't seen too much of a lot of the good receivers so far. This game has been Dugan Sexton, very good weapon. We can see he is catching the ball. He is making lots of yards on top of catching the ball. I see a passing play happening right here. We'll see what happens as they need to go 11 for this first down.
All right, let's see what we got here as Leibel takes a snap, drops back to pass, and almost gets sacked. Throws one for Peyton Lewis, and that is caught by Mr. Peyton Lewis as Taylor tries to get him down, but he does get him out of bounds. That is exactly what Wakeland needs, and they definitely did right there with a huge first down.
Massive first down, massive throw, massive yards off of that carry. We saw him throw deep. They knew they needed some kind of passing play, and they saw Peyton Lewis go out. He was far. He was deep, and Leibel threw it, and he caught it for a long pass.
Now it's Leibel, drops back, throws one for Rochelle, and he almost made an attempt to do an Odell Beckham, but it is incomplete. And now that leads to 2nd and goal at the 9-yard line.
Almost a one-handed catch there, which would have put him up to 20, which put him up to 20 points. But we'll see what happens here. It's 2nd and 9.
Let's see what they do here. As there's now 2nd and goal at the 9-yard line. Now this is the green zone for Wakeland. That means the green zone. What I mean by that is that if they're inside 10, they need to put up points on the board, whether it's field goal or touchdown. preferably touchdown, as Liable does a fake and hands off to Charlie Burkhart, and Burkhart gets down around the 5-yard line. So now it's going to bring up 3rd and goal.
Just as we've seen Burkhart, 4 or 5 yards of carry right there. It's 3rd and 5. We can probably see another Burkhart play here as he's been averaging the yards they need to score. We'll see what happens at 3rd. They could also take a safe route. We could take a safe route here, throw, maybe do a wide play. There might be someone left open. We'll see what happens here.
All right, let's see what happens here. This is now 3rd and 5 with 4:50 left to go. This is actually 3rd and goal. Let's see what Liable is doing. Sends Rochelle in motion. And I believe there's a fumble on the play. Let's see what happened here. And it does look like Wakeland does seem to, and there's actually a turnover right there by the Colony defense. There's actually a fumble recovery, and that is the 2nd turnover for Wakeland in tonight's game.
Another turnover. This is good opportunity for the Colony here if they want to put themselves up even higher.
Yes.
Possibly guarantee them a win at this, from what it's looking like right now, if they can put up even more points. We'll see what happens here as this offense is coming out. We'll see how this Wakeland defense can do against this passing game, maybe through a trick play, as their rushing side of things is not that bad. They've only had 9 attempts at rushing and 78 yards, as opposed to Wakeland with 23 attempts at only 110 yards. We'll see how this goes, as their rushing game is also looking decently strong.
Yes, it is now 1st and 10 with 4:32 left to go in the 3rd quarter. And as Harrington drops back and pump fakes and hits Christian Gonzalez with the completion, and he gets tackled right there. And that was number 25, and that is Robbie Wilkins right there on the stop.
Good play though. Christian Gonzalez was wide open, but not enough to get that 1st down. It's 2nd and 5. We'll see how this goes if they can get the 1st down on the passing play, maybe throw in a rushing play.
All right, let's see what happens here with 4 minutes left to go here in the 3rd quarter. Let's see what Harrington has up his sleeve, and he's lined up in the shotgun formation, and no sign of Miles Price yet. He's had a heck of a game with two special team, 2 kickoff return touchdowns, and a lot of great things. And as Harrington gets a pass complete right there to number 4 Benji Wilson right there, and that's going to give him a new set of downs for the Cougars.
Benji Wilson, definitely a new name out here in this offense. Haven't seen him yet. However, we'll look at his stats. He has 14 yards for his carry, which is he's only had 1 carry, and it was for 14 yards so far this season. Maybe we'll see a lot more Benji Nelson. Maybe he's pretty good. We'll see what happens if they start using him more.
Now as Harrington gives it off to, I believe, Camden Wesley. And that's the first we've seen out of him tonight, and he gets about a gain of about 3 or 4.
We're seeing a lot more rushing out here tonight, definitely throwing off this Wakeland offense, as they are wide and back, prepared for the receiving end. However, the rushing side is throwing them off. They're getting a lot of carries out. Camden Wesley, their best running back right now, is good, averaging 6 yards per carry, and accounts for 5 touchdowns so far for their year, with 412 yards this season.
Yes, it is now 2nd and 5 at the 26-yard line. Let's see what Harrington has up his sleeve as Harrington drops back, launches one for Nelson, and he gets about a gain of about 13. That'll give him a new set of downs.
Benji Nelson, like I said, name we've never seen before. Only has 1 catch so far this year. We'll see what happens here, though, as they are using him a lot more.
All right, now is 1st and 10 with 2:10 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. Let's see what happens here as Harrington is getting advice from the coach. Now Miles Price is back on the field. He is on the far left. And let's see. And Jaden Page is covering him. And Keith Miller is alongside him as well. And Trevor Perks is actually covering Keith Miller as dropped back. And Keith Miller's off to the races. Stiff arm Josh Starnes. And Jake Marshall gets him down but anyway, that's going to be a 1st down right there for the Cougars.
Keith Miller this year averaging 15 yards per catch. Great weapon. We'll see. This passing game is very strong. As you can see, Wakeland was more adapting to the rushing, but it looks like they're switching up to passing, which just seems to be throwing them off a lot by throwing in rushing plays here and there.
Yes, it is right now 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line in Wakeland territory. Let's see what the Cougars have to do here. on this drive in order for them to score, as Harrington gets advice and about to set up what they're going to do. As Harrington hands it off to Camden Wesley. Wesley runs up the middle, and that's about a gain of about 6 right there.
Like I said, they can tell this Wakeland defense is ready for the receiving, but they're too far for Camden Wesley. Their rushing end is gaining them a lot more yards. They might start to move up a bit more, it appears. They're looking more for rushing plays because it is throwing them off. However, they could be too far up front, as this receiving end could catch something if they're too far up front.
Yes, so now it is now 2nd and 5 with about 35 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. And let's see what the Cougars have up their sleeve as they're lined up in the formation, and is a toss to Keith Miller. And Miller runs along the sideline and gets it to about the 29-yard line for about a gain of 4 on that play. This is going to be 3rd and about 1 to go. And let's see, as the clock is running down, they might let it run all the way down to the quarter. Let's see.
3rd and 1 here. We'll see what they can do to at least get a first down. I believe we might see a rushing play.
And now as the quarter is about to expire, in the third quarter is over, the score is the Cougars 38, the Wolverines 14. And we'll be back right here on the Frisco Sports Network. And we're back here on the Frisco Sports Network for the start of the fourth quarter, with the Colony beating the Wolverines 38-14. This is now 3rd and 1, and there's a flag on the play. Let's see what the refs have to say. And there's going to be a false start on the offense, so that's going to push them back 5. That's going to be down to a 3rd and 6.
3rd and 6 here. We can see it's not much of a gap as to what they're used to doing, maybe clutching over 10 yards on a passing play. But we can see what happens here. Their running game is actually doing really well. The rushing side of it, Wakeland's a little bit prepared for this rushing side. They're right up front and ready for whoever's coming up to rush. But also, their receiving end is super strong. They're an unstoppable force. But we can see how Wakeland's slowly adapting to the Colony and stopping them, not letting them get these many first downs.
Now as Harrington scrambles and he hits Benji Nelson, a name we still haven't heard of that much, and now he's going to get stopped short right there, and that's going to lead to a 4th and 3 at the 31.
We're beginning to hear a lot of the name Benji Nelson. He's doing really well. They're keeping him out there as one of their running backs. We can see how much of a benefit he's doing, but it's 4th and 3 now.
Yes, it's now 4th and 3 at the 31. I think Rudy Rangel is staying out, having his offense stay out there and go for it. Let's see what happens here as Harrington lines up into shotgun formation with Christian Gonzalez being sent in motion. And Gonzalez goes outside, and is he going to be stopped short? And it looks like he will be stopped short. Judging from the look up here. And let's see. Is he stopped short? And no, that he actually says he did make it across. So now it's going to be a new set of downs right here for the Cougars.
Once again, we see they've consistently the Colony has consistently clutched a 4th down, or a fourth down play, 3rd down play. They've consistently done it. It's very well. I don't think it's a good idea to kick off, but it looks like they're pretty consistent with clutching whenever they have to. But we'll see what happens here.
All right, now this is 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line. What a clutch play right there by Gonzalez to give him the first. This is now Camden Wesley with the carry, and he is going to get about a solid gain of 8 right there on that play. And that tackle was made by Josh Starnes.
Very strong rushing game. They've had less attempts for more yards than Wakeland. That could show something. Maybe their rushing end might be just slightly better. They've been averaging more yards per rush, 7.3 yards per rush at 13 attempts so far, for a total of 95 yards this game, as opposed to Wakeland with 27 attempts at 4.1 yards a carry, accounting for 110 yards this game. And the Wakeland's they're still a little bit weird. They could sense a passing play here.
All right,
but
now Camden Wesley gets stumbled, and he's going to get the first down, judging by the ref. One of the refs says it is, one of the refs says it doesn't, and they will say it is a first down right there for the Cougars.
First down, the Colony once again rushing play. We can see it's kind of stumbling. Wakeland, they're getting a lot of yards per carry. We have a lot of Wakeland defensive players towards the back half, waiting for this strong receiving end.
All right, let's see right now. As it's 1st and 10 with about 9:50 left to go here in the fourth. And as Nelson gets a handoff and evades a defender, and he gets out of bounds right there. And that's a good play right there for Nelson, as we have not mentioned his name lately so far. And now it's going to be a 2nd and 6 right now. Ball at the 17-yard line with 9:45 left. Correction, at the 13-yard with 9:45 left to go. All right, so now let's see what Harrington does. Let's see what he has up his sleeve. And let's see. And as Miles Price is out there on the field, he's on the far right end on the field. And I believe that is Jaden Page covering him. And now we have Blake Usland, and Quincy Leslie is on him. He's got an interception in this game. So let's see. Let's see if he can get another one. As Harrington hands it off to Wesley again, but this time he's not going to get very minimum pickup right there. And that was Robbie Wilkins right there on the stop.
Yeah, we can tell their Colony is pushing out a lot more of the running side right now. For total, the Colony is getting close to doubling Wakeland in total yardage. The Colony has 427 yards this game. Wakeland has 278. 3rd and 6, we could see a passing play here like consistently they've done. They've made clutch plays when they need to consistently this game, and it can be very good to see what happens here.
All right, let's see what Harrington does have up his sleeve. This is now 3rd and 6 as Harrington drops back, launches one, and that is incomplete right there. Josh Starnes had the chance to pick it off, but it's incomplete, and that was Miles Price right there with the intended receiver.
Incomplete in the end zone, could have put him up to 44 points. We'll see what happens here, though. They could still go. They could still do it. It's 4th and 6. We've seen it consistently. We'll see what the coach decides to do, if they want to keep it going or do a kickoff.
All right, let's see now. As it is now 4th and 6 at the 13-yard line, and I believe a timeout is called by the Wolverines. And we're going to take a timeout as well, so we'll be right back here on the Frisco Sports Network. And we're back on the Frisco Sports Network. As it is now 4th and 6. Notice a correction, a Colony timeout, so Wakeland still has all three. As it is now 4th and 6, 13-yard line, 8:57 left to go. As it is now lining up for a field goal. Auburn, let's see what he does here. As this good snap, good hold, and the kick is blocked. The kick is blocked, and that is no good. So this is a bit of a momentum here for the Wolverines. Now, Richard, are points are a premium for them for Wakeland. What does Wakeland need to do to put points on the board?
I think we need a strong I think we need more passing. I think we need more passing on Wakeland's side. As you can tell, Burkhart is the player of this game. He's averaging 4 or 5 yards a carry. He's the one to get you your first downs. However, Colony, I feel like they might be more adapted for Burkhardt. They're up front and ready for him. He's a strong runner. However, if we throw him off, maybe get a wider play, the Colony is ready for the rushing end.
And there's now Peyton Lewis with the carry, and Peyton Lewis stiff arms a man, and he gets out of bounds. Now right there is a solid gain of about 7 or so. But we're going to take a little game break right now as Liberty at the start is beating Heritage 42-35 with 2:53 left to go here in the third quarter. And back at Toyota Stadium, the Lone Star Rangers are just destroying the Titans 55-10 with 3:34 left to go in the third. And let's get back into the action. So now with the Wolverines, it is now 2nd and 3. And now Leibel hands it off to Burkhardt once again, that man that knows how to carry the ball. And it gets a little gain out of there. Oh, he gets a 2-yard gain. So now it's 3rd and 1.
3rd and 1, Burkhardt's the man. Run it. Just get that first down, then go on to passing. I think passing, as you can tell, the Colony, they're stopping the rushers, even though the rushers are very strong, very ready to go. But it's just, you got to get that first down. I feel rush it for that first down. Push your men forward. Get the first down, then start passing. As that's the key in what I believe.
Shirley and Delshaw are in motion. So now Leibel hands off to Burkhardt once again, and Burkhardt gets through some defenders, and he gets stopped short. And that was Gage Gorea right there with the stop. And correction, it's actually a first down. So now Burkhardt gives the Wolverines a new set of downs.
Like I said, rush Burkhardt, get your rushers through, push your men forward, get that first down. Maybe we'll see some passing play to Sexton. Sexton was a good hero for this game so far. We'll see what happens here, though. Even though Kevin Rochelle, still amazing player, prime receiver, averaging 20 yards a catch this season. Prime receiver. We'll see how far they can get.
All right, now let's see here as it is now 1st and 10 as Leibel hands it off to Burkhardt. And Burkhardt is probably not going to get any gain right there. In fact, he isn't going to gain much. There's a no gain right there. This is now gain of 3. This is a gain of 2, gain of 8. So this is now 2nd and 2 at 34.
There was a receiver wide open and ready to be thrown at, though. That could be. We could see what happens here. The Colony's ready for Burkhardt. However, I sent a receiving side. A receiving player is about to go down, possibly.
And another run to Burkhardt. And Burkhardt's getting a little breathing room. And as now he has been able to get past the 40-yard line. What a good play right there for Burkhardt. That leads him to a new set of downs. That was Devin Guvadera with the stop. And now it's 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line with 6:40 left to go in the fourth. Points are at a premium for Wakeland. And let's see what they do here. And there's also an injury timeout on the field. That is Miles Price that is hurt. So this could be real bad. And then we're also going to take a little break here as well. As we'll be right back here on the Frisco Sports Network. And we're back here on the Frisco Sports Network. And with Miles Price being down, this could be a big turning point right there for the Cougars. But fortunately, he is okay. He just walked to the bench, so everything's A-okay. So now Leibel hands it off to Charlie Burkhardt, who tries to hurdle a defender but dramatically fails because Ryan Kosmanski was there to stop him. And now let's do a little game break right now. Back at Little Elm, Independence Knights and Little Elm Lobos. The Independence Knights are winning right now 35-31 with the mid-12 left to go in the fourth quarter. And now back at Toyota, Lone Star is continuing to do its thing, 62-10 with the minute 56 left to go in the third. And now it's Charlie Burkhardt, and he gets stuffed behind the line. And that was Darion Beasley right there with the stop.
So Mikey Harrington thrown for 322 yards this game and counted for 3 of their touchdowns so far, completed close to 75% of his passes. I'm thinking, even though this running game is starting to throw off the Wakeland's offense, they're prepared for this running game. They haven't had so many people wide as it was in the first half. And it looks like we got a passing play, though.
And Dylan Liable gets sacked again on that third down. And, man, oh, man, this Wakeland offense is continuing to struggle. And now as it's 4th and 17, the clock is slowly rolling down to 5 minutes. Let's see what Coach Secord has up its sleeve here as he's planning to go for it. Let's see what he does here. And they need to go for it because points for them are at a premium right now. Let's see what they do. As Liable drops back, hits Peyton Lewis. Oh, they're doing a lateral, and Peyton Lewis is just going to run out of bounds, and he is well short of the first. So that's a turnover on downs, and now the Colony gets to regain possession of the ball again.
With the Colony having possession of the ball, you don't know what's going to happen. They've been throwing out a lot of things out of their playbook, especially within the first half. It was just solid passing. Wakeland, all their defenders were wide. They were far out, ready against these receivers. However, towards the second half, they're pushing a lot more up front, as we've been seeing a little bit more running game from players like from Benji Nelson and Christian Gonzalez on the rushing side. But you never know what can happen here, as the Colony is just they have so many tricks they can do here.
And I believe the backup quarterback is out there now for the Cougars. This is now number 19, and that is the name of Jonathan Roberson, as he hands it off to who can't get the angle, and that was actually Camden Wesley with the carry on that play. So that's now 2nd and 2.
Jonathan Robertson this season has had 2 throws. He's completed both of them, and for a total of 30 yards and 1 touchdown actually this season, which is interesting.
Now as Camden Wesley runs the ball again, and he gets stopped, and that was made by number 22 Hudson Owens right there.
As you can see, this Wakeland defense is beginning to adapt. Within this first half, Colony's putting up huge numbers on the scoreboard. And the Wakeland is adapting. They've studied them. They've been studying how they do things, how they're playing. And we can see what's happening. It's very apparent that they are aware what can happen and what will happen with the Colony in their playbook.
Yes, and now let's see what the Cougars do here on offense. As running back changes happen, that is Robert Veasley out there, besides Jonathan Roberson out there right now. This is now 3rd and 2 at the 49-yard line. Let's see what happens. As Veasley gets it, and he's going to get the first down right there. Now his tackle was made by Robbie Wilkins.
Robert Veasley, 93 yards this season, about close to 5 yards per carry at 1 touchdown so far. Not one of their prime rushers, but definitely a good weapon for them to use.
Yes. It is now 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line with 3:20 left to go here in the 4th. And this game is pretty much going to be the Colony. And as the clock is running out, they're just trying to let the clock tick away so that way they can get home. And everyone can get home pretty much. This is now 1st and 10. Let's see, as this is now a quarterback draw as Roberson gets smashed by number 41, Jake Marshall.
Looked like about 8 or 9 yards there for that carry. They've Miles Harrington, a really good quarterback. They've put in Robertson, giving their backups another chance, giving them the play. They've put up huge numbers on the scoreboard. They can let other people get a chance to play, have a feel, and if they do that, let these kids get trained up and feel like if we play really well, they can probably swap people out and make very confusing plays for the defense of the opposing team.
Yes, it is right now 2nd and 3 as Roberson hands it off to number 23, Kanan Blakemore, and that's going to be a new set of downs.
Looks like the rushing side of the Colony is even stronger than Wakeland's rushing side currently, as they're averaging close to 8 to 9 yards a carry. Very impressive right now. At only 21 attempts, accounting for 128 yards, when Wakeland's had 34 attempts at 150 yards. We can see the Colony's rushing side is more stronger.
Yes, and right now we're going to take a little game break. Back at the start, Liberty and Heritage. And Liberty just scored another touchdown with the score being 49 to 38-35 with the third quarter coming to a close. And with this game about to be coming to a close, like I said before, this game's getting started to become pretty evident that this game definitely belongs to the Cougars. And with the clock, they're just trying to run things out. And as right now, there's a 4th and 1 at the 37-yard line. And Mikey Harrington is back out on the field. And let's see what they do here.
Interesting to see Mikey Harrington back out, especially I'd be giving your backups another chance. See what they can really do, prove themselves more. As Mikey Harrington has definitely proved himself as a prime quarterback for their team, the starting quarterback, amazing player.
All right, now as is 4th and 1, as Harrington hands it off to Caden Blakemore, and is he going to be short? Is he going to move the chains? And it looks like they do move the chains. This is right now a 1st down. With about a minute left to go in the game, I think it's pretty safe to say that the Colony Cougars have this game in the bag now, as they definitely could be going to victory formation at any point in time right now.
Colony Cougars now going to most likely be going 7-1, competing against Lone Star, who will be going 8-0 last night, as the Colony's only loss is to Lone Star, prime player in District in 5A Division 1. A very big playoff contender, guaranteed playoff picture. Don't know how far they'll go, but they are an amazing team so far this year with Miles Harrington as their main quarterback. Many offensive weapons, it seems.
Anyway, so now with the teams, that was probably that last play of the game. Teams are probably going back to their huddles. And I think with that, I think it's safe to say that the final score for this game tonight is the Colony Cougars 38, the Wakeland Wolverines 14. Now, Richard, what are your final thoughts about tonight's game?
Final thoughts about tonight's game. Colony, massive playoff contender. They are playing super well, especially seeing this first half. 2 kickoff returns in the first quarter. Unbelievable. Super very well done. But, like, it's the passing side of the Colony, I think, is their biggest thing. However, you can throw off these teams by using your super strong off the passing side. Throw off your teams by making them expect to get that passing end and block those people. Get your defense wide and open. Be prepared to cover those passers. Throw them off by throwing a rushing play like we've been seeing this second half. Not so much passing, but just pure rushing. And they've been, even on the rushing end, they're strong. As we saw Wakeland probably averaging 4.4 yards a carry. Colony averaging 5.5. They have less attempts, 24 attempts at 131 yards. But Wakeland is at 34 attempts at 150 yards. As you can see, less attempts for more yards on the Colony's side. Their rushing game is even very strong, not only their passing.
All right, so that's all for tonight. So Wakeland is now 4-4, while the Colony is now, let's say, 7-1. And now, for sign off for the last time, I'm Dalton Redondo alongside Richard Paz. We'll see you next time on the Frisco Sports Network.